Alright, y'all, we out here in Houston and we about to pull up on my man BR. He runs a 6-figure rental car business. So we're about to go inside and see his fleet, see his cars, and see how he does business. So I'm about to put you guys on game and basically give you guys some tools and some tips how to run a 6-figure rental car business straight from the source. Alright, so we're about to go see his fleet and see how he cash flows and how he gets his vehicles. So let's go. So basically he's gonna explain how he does this thing. Let my man introduce himself.
What's going on, y'all? I'm BR, the CEO. I teach personal credit, I teach business credit, and I teach the rental car game. Not only do I teach it, I do it in real life. As you guys can see, we had a lot to where I keep my cars in my apartment or whatnot. And basically we're about to give y'all a few gems on how to actually start a rental car business and how to run a rental car business the correct way.
Alright, so we at Firestone right now. So tell us a little bit how you maintenance these cars and basically keep them up to date.
So a lot of people think maintenance is like super bad, but really maintenance is not that bad. Saying that I have 25 cars is not as bad as people would think with maintenance. When people think rental cars, they're like, oh, how bad is the maintenance? Maintenance isn't that expensive, especially when you start with, economy cars or Teslas. I tell people to get in with economy cars. How often do you actually have to get maintenance on a Nissan or a Tesla? Like it's not that common. It's not that big to get maintenance done on these kind of vehicles. So getting into this rental car game is definitely not bad on the maintenance end, unless you're getting like Mercedes, Audis, and if those are newer cars, then you still won't have that much maintenance to do. So that's my take on maintenance.
Alright, cool. So we better hop in one of his cars to just maintenance. We better go pick up another car. So let's go.
So basically, I started off with a rental car fleet of all economies. Economies are the money makers because they are rented out a lot longer than the luxuries. So if you have a luxury that's $70 a day, $80 a day, that car may only get booked, let's say, for example, 15 days out of the week. Whether you got an economy car that's 50, 60 a day, that car is going to be rented out 20, even very possibly 30 days out of the month. Out of the month. So that economy car will be making more than the luxury car, and the luxury cars are not as easy, or the luxury cars are easier to get out because with those economies, people are in more demand of the economy cars. So that's why I started with all economies. I push the economy cars, then I get more luxuries as I need the demand. As I build my rental car company, more people start bringing in more luxury cars, so I can rent out their cars and push them like that. So I mean, me personally, getting started as a rental car game, I wouldn't do luxury cars at all, because if you get into the game, you don't like it, and now you got a high loan versus getting a little Nissan, a little Toyota, Honda or something. They got a lower note, so it's easier to get out of the game having a lower monthly spend on the car notes and stuff. So a lot of people get in the game, they think they need a luxury car. They get a luxury car, then they're like, oh, it's too much groundwork. Or they'll run the Bank of America play and get like 5 cars at one time. Get those 5 cars, put them up on Turo, private rentals, whatever. And then what if the cars don't produce because you don't know that much about the rental car game? What if the rental car game is too much? People think it's just easy. You just put up cars and you get money. It's not that easy. So they go get the 5 cars from Bank of America, come back, try to run the plays, and they can run the plays probably and make money off of it, but they don't have the time. They're like, oh, it's too much. Like in and out to it. Like right now, we're going to the airport, and if you got 5 cars, you might be running to the airport, let's say twice a week. So it's just a lot of ins and outs that people don't really think about. So that's why I definitely started with economy cars, just to keep the price low, learn how the game goes, and then start bringing on those higher end cars and like exotics and so forth. But yeah, that's definitely what I think about the
So like, what platform you put your cars on?
Me, I started with Turo. Now we're like 50% Turo. Not even. Like we run probably 75% private, and then the rest is on Turo. Like Turo is integrated with my booking platform, like my personal rental car platform, my own rental car platform. So the calendars are integrated. So if a car is booked on Turo for however many days, it's not going to be able to be booked on the private platform, and vice versa. If they book on the private platform, they can't book on Turo. So that's how the organization is set up within the systems. So yeah, man, definitely.
So this is Suburban right here. So about how much you think this is bringing in a month?
So this Suburban basically is only for airport runs, because people are coming in town with big families, so they want to get this car. There's nobody that's getting in a wreck and actually needing Suburban here in Houston. So they will book this car so they can move around with the family and stuff like that. So this car probably makes $3,000-4,000. I say around $3,000 a month.
Cool. So you see you got about like 25 cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the range looking like? You got like the low end, and then what cars you got in the high end?
Okay, so to put this out there, I don't have any exotics. I broker with somebody that do exotics. So brokering means if I bring, rental car clients for the exotic company, I get paid $200 to $300 each booking. And then the cars that I own probably around 6-7 economy cars. The rest are luxury, and economies are like Nissans, Hondas, Toyotas. Those are economy. Luxury, I got like 2 Mercedes, 2 BMWs, 2 Infinitis. This Suburban, I probably have 15 luxuries. So I have like 15 luxuries, 10 economies, and they bring around, last month they brought in 16,000. 11,000 of that was profit, but I don't own any cars.
Yeah. So you're really just doing this like off the muscle.
Yeah, so it's a very lucrative business if you know how to structure and run everything. But yeah, that's how many cars, the ratio that I have.
Okay, that's what's up. So gotta ask, what's like the crazy experience you had with a car?
Y'all want the full story?
Yeah, might as well.
Alright, so I had this car, right? I had a BMW X3, so it's an SUV. So a client booked it on Turo. And then it was an Indian dude. So I'm like, all right, cool. He booked the car, and we do remote process, so we lock it by our phones. All right, and I have so many cars. At the time, I probably had like 15 cars. Still a lot of cars, right? So this dude returned the car, and he told me, I was like, all right, cool, I'm about to lock it. Lock the car. I came like 5 minutes. I lived in a high rise right there, so I could look down at the car if I wanted to. But I locked the car. I went down there to go get the key. Key wasn't there. So I told him, I'm like, hey bro, the key not here. I didn't think he stole it at this time. I just thought maybe he lost it or something. I don't know. So I was like, all right, cool. We waited 2 days. The key never came up. So now we're like, all right, now you got to pay us for it. Right? So now you definitely got to pay us for the key. He never paid for the key. He ghosted us. So, all right, cool. I'm not thinking nothing of it. But a few days later, it was actually in this car. I pulled up to the lot. I saw a green spray painted Suburban. So it was green and it was spray painted. So I'm like, something not right. So I instantly stopped. I instantly stopped, and I'm like, something not right. So before I parked, I made sure, my safety was cool.
Yeah.
So then I got out. Well, I didn't get out. I sat in there. I backed in. I acted like I didn't know what was going on. Like I was a regular civilian. So the dude got out and walked up to the car. And I'm like, I know I don't have a renter right now. This dude that got out of this car is not the renter. Keep in mind. So the dude gave the key to this dude, right? To come take the car. So then I went and I stayed in the car. So he got out. He started taking pictures of the car. I'm like, maybe somebody's renting the car. Then I'm like, nobody's renting the car right now. So I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So after that, he started taking pictures. Then he opened the door. So I'm like, okay, this dude got the key. So now that I know that he got the key, I'm like, okay, cool. Let me tell the owner of the car to kill switch the car, right? So I told him to kill switch the car, and he couldn't get to it right there, like at that moment. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just tell the police that I know who has my key, right? In case something happened. So basically, after that, I'm on the phone with them, and the dude drives away. In the Tahoe or Suburban, whatever it was. He drove away. He was to the left, like it's a building right here, and I saw the back of his car sticking out. So then I saw him pull away. So I pulled away. It's like the parking lot is like an island, so it's streets around the parking lot. So I went one way to intercept him and come in front of him. So then when I did that, I look in my rearview mirror, and guess who behind me? The BMW.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm on the phone with the police. I told them they didn't take the car yet, but I know who has my key. So now I'm like, oh man. So I'm like, nah, they just stole the car. Like they officially just took the car. So she was like, okay, asking a whole bunch of unnecessary questions that had nothing to do with the rent, like with the stolen car. I'm like, y'all asking me too many questions. Y'all gotta send somebody to this location. Gave him location. She's still asking, what's your name and all of this extra stuff. I'm like, none of this matters right now. Like somebody just stole my car. So yeah. And then after that, so I was at a light just like this, and the BMW was behind me. So he cut through the parking lot and then went that way. Mind you, I came around to intercept him. So when I came in front of him, we was head to head. He saw me, I saw him with the spray painted Suburban, and then behind him, like I said, he cut through with the BMW and got behind the Suburban. So I'm head and head with both of them, and he rolled the window down. So I'm like, oh my God, they about to start shooting or something. So I started ducking, and then they just kept going. So like we got on the phone with the police. They finally called us back. And when they called us back, it was a whole police chase. So we have multiple trackers on these cars. So we were telling the police every single street, every single road that these people were hitting, like on the second. So yeah, it was a whole police chase. I recorded it and everything on the video. So the police, it was a whole police chase. We on the phone, we giving them the coordinates of everywhere these people going. They get the car, like 20 minutes, the people had left the car somewhere, of course, and ran. And then I went to go pick up the car with the police, giving all the information. So I'm like breaking it down, like, yeah, this was a setup, telling them everything that went wrong, that was going on. And then that was a Tuesday. This happened on a Tuesday, right? No, a Wednesday. This happened on a Wednesday. So then I'm still not knowing if this was a setup, because maybe somebody went in the car before I locked it and got the key. It could have been a random person. At this point, I still didn't know it was a setup, right? Come Saturday, I was up in the apartment. I came down at like 7 a.m. because a car came in at night. I didn't go get it because of this situation. Like I didn't know what the circumstances were at night, so I waited until the next morning. Went to go get the key, checked out the new car, and then once I checked out that new car, it was like 7. I went back. I came back out to wash my Audi to take it to go get it washed at 12. But let's go back. So at 7, I heard a car start up. right? 7 o'clock in the morning. No business is open. It was at this parking lot. No businesses was open. So I'm like, I started thinking like, why is a car just starting up like at 7 a.m.? So mind you, I left. All right, cool. It's just a car starting up. And then I went back down at 12. I saw the same car sitting right there running. So it was from 7 a.m. to 12. That's just when I seen them. I don't know how long they were sitting there before I actually paid attention to it. So I stayed in my car in the Audi. And I just put my hazards on. Made it seem like I was just waiting on somebody. But really I was watching that car. So 30 minutes go by, nothing happened. He's still sitting there. So I'm like, something not right. So I'm sitting there. He finally moved. He moved into like behind the dumpster. The dumpster has a wide area. So he got out of the car and I'm parked like this. He behind me. I'm recording him out of my rearview mirror. The dude got out and guess who it was? The person that rented the car. So I'm like, oh, so I'm like, this was a setup. So now I'm like, it's official, it's a setup. So, yeah, the dude was just sitting in the car waiting, but I'm still not sure that it was his renter. It looked exactly like him, but I still couldn't, like, I was pretty far. I was recording, like, I was looking at him through the rearview mirror. I couldn't tell. This how I was able to tell. He got in the car, or he got out of the car and started taking comforters and stuff out of the back seat. So I'm like, okay. He's sitting here watching the cars. I'm still not sure at this point. So the dude get out, he get back in the car. He stayed in there for a little bit. Of course, he was waiting for the car to get back, the BMW. He was waiting for it to pop up. So I still don't know. So he drove off. He finally drove off, and this is how I knew. He didn't have a license plate. I was looking for his license plate because I was recording. I was like this. I couldn't find the license plate. So the license plate was in the back window upside down. So I'm like, you're telling on yourself. Like, you're obviously doing something. So I'm like, okay, that's the person, that's the renter that rented the car, gave the key to somebody else. The other person came to take the car. It was very unsuccessful. And yeah, that's what happened. So it was wild. It was like a movie because I seen it all happen like right in front of my eyes. I seen the dude waiting in the parking lot to see if the car would pop up. I'm talking to the police. I have every single piece of evidence that these people took my car. Police did not give it. They did not care at all. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you really gotta protect this stuff yourself. So yeah. So that's what happened with the stolen car situation. That's the crazy situation we had.
Yeah. So you ended up getting it back.
Oh yeah, we got it back 20 minutes later. Yeah. Like, it was a police chase. As soon as I knew it was stolen. We was on it.
Was there something on the background that you couldn't see, or was it just like a regular person who decided to steal a car?
It was a whole operation, so you'll never find. Like, obviously, I had the license plates, I had all my evidence together, but it's like, what can I do about it? I gotta give the police the information. They go do what they do, because they don't care. So there's nothing you can really do about it. So
they just gotta have trackers.
Yeah, you just gotta protect your cars for sure.
Alright, so one of his cars just came back. He's gonna show us how he does the checkout process real quick.
So usually I have to take when I first got started doing like the pictures and stuff, I'll be taking like 100 plus pictures. Now I'm getting more efficient with hitting more areas with less photos. So I can literally walk around it and snap probably 50 pictures now, whereas when I first got started, I'm snapping like 100 because I'm trying to get up close on like every single spot. But it's like a technique to taking these pictures to hit every single area of the car with less photos. And y'all gotta make sure y'all definitely doing 100 plus in the beginning. As far as when you first start taking pictures of the check-in. So right now I'm doing check-out because this car just coming back in. So this is a check-in. Alright, I'm sorry, this is a check-out. Because this client is done with the rental. So I gotta check it out. And when I do private rentals, I'm not taking pictures, I'm doing a video. Because it's pointless just walking around snapping pictures when I could just record the whole car instead. It's a lot more easy.
video. Appreciate you guys for showing us.
For sure.
And yeah, so any advice you got for people trying to start out in this business?
My advice is don't try to do too many things at one time when you're first starting out. I started off with a credit repair company as a side hustle. I started off with the rental car company as a side hustle, and I was teaching. Everything blew up at once. Now I'm running around like with so many things to do, instead of putting all of my energy into one business, all of my money into one business, so that I can scale and grow that one business and then build the other businesses, right? But it's like right now I have to focus on every single business, and I'm a startup business, so I'm just getting started. I'm not a millionaire or anything like that. So a lot of you guys can relate to my situation, so that's my advice for you.
Alright, man, that wraps it up. Appreciate y'all for watching. Go ahead and subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it, because we're gonna have more content for you guys. But I'll see you guys later.